The first time it happened, I told myself it was just the light. A flicker maybe, or one of those cheap dim bulbs that play tricks on your eyes when you're tired. It was late, and I was dragging myself to bed. But that night, as I walked down the hallway, my shadow hesitated, just for a second. I took a step forward, and it didn't. It just stood there, a flat, dark shape pressed against the wall, perfectly still. My heart did a weird little flip in my chest. When I stopped moving, it caught up, snapping back into place as if nothing had happened. I tried to laugh it off, just a brain fart from being exhausted. But the feeling of cold dread didn't quite go away. Over the next few days, it kept happening. These tiny, almost unnoticeable delays. My shadow would blink a fraction of a second after I did. It would stretch longer than the angle of the light should have allowed, or shrink when I hadn't moved at all. At first, I thought I was losing my mind. Maybe I wasn't sleeping enough. Maybe I was just seeing things. But the rational part of my brain couldn't explain it away anymore. One night, I decided to test it. I stood directly under my bedroom lamp, a single harsh bulb that cast a sharp, defined shadow on the floor. I slowly raised my right hand, and my shadow raised its left. A mirror image, sure, that's normal. But then, I turned around, fully expecting my shadow to turn with me. For the first time, it didn't. It stayed facing the other way, a dark silhouette with its back to me. That's when the terror really hit. A cold, sharp realization that this shadow wasn't just following me anymore. It was watching me. After that night, sleep became a luxury I couldn't afford. Every time I closed my eyes, I'd see it. That dark silhouette, standing still, patient, impossibly quiet. It was always in the periphery of my vision, never moving until I looked away. Then I'd feel a shift, a slight change in the darkness of the room. I started leaving the lights on, all of them. But it didn't matter. One night, I woke up with a start. The bedroom was pitch black, but I could feel it. I could feel its presence. I peeked through my barely open eyelids, and there it was, in the corner of my eye. A shape, darker than the surrounding blackness, standing against the wall, even though every light was off. There was no source, no logic. It was just there. My hand trembled as I fumbled for the lamp switch. The moment the light flooded the room, it vanished. But where it had been standing, there was a mark left on the wall, an outline, darker than the paint, like a stain that had seeped into the plaster itself. Things escalated from there. I stopped going out after dark. I covered my windows. I avoided mirrors, polished surfaces, anything that could cast a reflection or a shadow. My apartment became a fortress of light, with every lamp burning day and night. But the stain on the wall grew darker, more defined. It started to look more and more like me, but not quite. The posture was wrong. The limbs were just a little too long. I felt like a prisoner in my own home, constantly watched by an absence of light that was becoming more solid every day. I tried telling a friend, but the words sounded insane, even to my own ears. My shadow is moving on its own. They just gave me that look, the one you give someone you think is about to completely lose it. So I stopped talking. I just stayed inside, surrounded by light, watching the stain and waiting. The paranoia was eating me alive. I started seeing it everywhere. A dark shape flitting past a window, a flicker in the reflection of my TV screen. The feeling of being watched was constant, a heavy weight on my shoulders. I even tried painting over the stain on the wall, layering coat after coat of thick white paint. But it was no use. The next morning, the outline would bleed through, even darker and sharper than before. It was like it was feeding on my fear, growing stronger with every sleepless night. I remember one afternoon, the sun was streaming through a gap in the curtains, and for a moment, I felt a sliver of hope. I saw my normal shadow on the floor, perfectly still, perfectly attached to my feet. I let out a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. Then, from the corner of the room, another shadow detached itself from the wall and slid silently across the floor towards mine. They merged for just a moment before the other one retreated back into the darkness. Last night was the breaking point. A storm rolled in and the power went out. The entire building was plunged into sudden, suffocating darkness. My heart hammered against my ribs. Emergency lights flickered on in the hallway outside, casting long, eerie shadows through the peephole. But inside my apartment, it was moonlight that filled the room, just enough to show faint shapes and silhouettes. And that's when I saw it. My shadow, or what used to be my shadow, was already standing at the door. It wasn't flat against the wood. It had a depth to it now. It slowly turned its head, a gesture that was impossibly human. It looked at me. Pure terror froze me in place. My hand, shaking violently, reached for the flashlight on my nightstand. As my fingers brushed against the cold metal, I heard it move. It wasn't the silent, sliding motion of a shadow. It was a soft step across the floor, the sound of something that was once flat and two-dimensional learning how to occupy three-dimensional space. I finally managed to grab the flashlight and clicked it on. The beam of light cut through the darkness, sweeping across the room. The figure was gone. The door was empty. I scrambled to my feet, my back pressing against the wall, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I kept the light on, scanning every corner, every shadow, until the sun came up. When the power finally came back on, I didn't feel any relief. I walked over to the wall, the one with the stain. But there was something new. Next to the old outline, there was another one. A darker, clearer version of my silhouette, with its arms outstretched, as if reaching for me. Now, no matter where I go, no matter how bright the light, I have two shadows. One is faint, gray, and follows my every move, just like a normal shadow should. But the other one, it's a deep, unnerving black, and it only moves when I'm not looking. Thanks for sticking around to the end of this unsettling tale. If you have any stories about things that go bump in the night, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this, and subscribe for more content that will keep you up at night. Stay safe, and always check your shadows.